Hey guys! There were reports a while back that Calipari was sending a team member to scout the coveted 5-star recruit of 2026. But it seems things are changing. Will the Finns stay in Europe? Is Cal no longer interested in the recruit? Or has the recruit changed his focus? Let's get to the news. Subscribe to the channel via the link in the description for more updates. Months ago, Mika Murninen's name seemed to occupy a central space in Arkansas's recruitment plans. There were clear signs of movement, official visits, positive evaluations, and even the expectation that John Calipari was willing to send members of his coaching staff to Europe to closely monitor the development of one of the most coveted international prospects in the class of 2026. Now, at the end of 2025, the silence surrounding this process raises natural questions. Has the interest cooled? Has the focus shifted? Or has the Finn simply decided to keep his path away from the immediate radar of American college basketball? Murninen is not just any name on the global scene. A versatile power forward with rare skills for his size, he has built a solid reputation both in Europe and in the United States, where he gained significant experience in grassroots events and preparatory schools. His official visit to Fayetteville in September 2024 was seen internally as extremely positive, to the point that sources at the time indicated that Arkansas had been the campus that impressed him the most compared to other universities visited during that period. This detail alone helps explain why the lack of recent news is noteworthy. At that time, the context seemed favorable for the Razorbacks. Murninen included Arkansas on a select list of 7 top-tier programs, alongside traditional powerhouses, and demonstrated a real openness to returning to the United States in the short term. The possibility of Calipari sending Chin Coleman to Europe to observe him during continental competitions reinforced the interpretation that the interest was not superficial, but strategic, aligned with a broader vision of internationalizing the roster. Time, however, passed. Murninen returned to competing on the European stage, participated in important tournaments, maintained his high ranking, and, little by little, seems to have reduced the pace of public interactions with NCAA programs. The idea of a reclassification for 2025, which had been discussed for over a year, lost momentum, and the Finn began to focus on his development in Europe, where he remains valued as a talent with direct NBA lottery potential in 2027. This is precisely where the question arises. Does this more European trajectory indicate a definitive change of focus on the part of the athlete, or just a development strategy before making a bigger decision? And, on the other hand, does Arkansas still see Murninen as a priority, or does the recent silence reflect a natural reorganization of the recruitment landscape? In Calipari's case, history suggests caution before any hasty conclusions. Throughout his career, he has built rosters by observing talent for long periods, respecting different maturation times, and keeping doors open even when public contact decreased. International recruitment, in particular, rarely follows a straight line. There are calendar factors, commitments to national teams, family decisions, and even draft projections that directly influence the pace of these conversations. Furthermore, Murninen's profile continues to fit almost perfectly into the type of player Calipari has historically valued. A tall, mobile athlete capable of creating from the perimeter, protecting the rim, and impacting the game without relying exclusively on offensive volume. His past performance alongside J.J. Andrews, now committed to Arkansas, is not an irrelevant detail, but a concrete link between the player and the project being built in Fayetteville. Therefore, even if December 2025 arrives without announcements, recent visits, or public statements, it would be premature to interpret the silence as disinterest. In high-level recruitment, especially when it involves international talent with NBA potential, the absence of noise often simply means that conversations are happening away from the spotlight. Arkansas may not be in the headlines right now, but that doesn't stop Murninen from being closely monitored. If the Finn decides to remain in Europe longer, it will be a choice consistent with his current development. Still, his name will hardly leave Calipari's radar. What would you bet? Comment.